Hello, and welcome back to Lora's Plans. So it's been 3 weeks since I've been able to post a video, and that's because life has gotten busy. Work has intensified, moved a child across country to get him back to college, and moved another child into her senior year of college housing for the year. She moved into a house with several of her teammates. So it's been a good couple of weeks, a time of transition, but I thought it was time to come back and give you an update on how things have been going in the Wide Traveler's Notebook that I used throughout July and the beginning of August, and let you know that we're going to continue on with the Great Planner Experiment, and we're going to be taking a look at the next evolution or the next test subject that I will use for the remainder of August. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we jump into this, let's go ahead and do a review of how things have gone in my Traveler's Notebook. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I am reluctant to move out of this, but 2023 is coming soon, and I don't want to have the same situation, so I know I need to try out some more notebook sizes and styles so that moving into 2023, the basic systems I choose to have at hand are ones that I think I can honestly use. The Traveler's Notebook has been wonderful. I have the ability to not only hit all of the attributes that I like in a planner system, I'm able to also build my components or my methodology in it very easily. I will say the only thing that kind of has given me a little bit of pause on possibly this size is that as I was traveling, this little guy got kind of heavy, not little, mid-sized guy, got heavy in my backpack. And yeah, I have some problems with the paper quality of the Moleskine wide inserts. But that's something I can easily fix by shopping Etsy and getting higher quality paper inserts off of a couple different shops there, or taking advantage of all the empty bound notebooks that I have by removing or breaking the spine, taking the paper signatures and cutting them to size so that I can, here's my experiment, create my own paper inserts with the number of pages I want and the weight and style of pages that I want. So, how has this gone? It's gone great. I have it set up so that I can move into a new kind of bullet journal insert for September because I do want to have a backup system on hand should one of my experiment subjects just not hit the mark. So here we are. I have my long-term collections, my scribbles notebook, the current bullet journal insert that I have that will take me to the end of August, the first bullet journal insert that was July and part of August, and then the bullet journal insert that I have for September should I need it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and close her up, take the pens out, and set her aside because it's time to move on. Moving into the last 2 weeks of August, I am going to attempt to use a personal size rings. Now, I purchased this when I think it was Mommy Plans, or I don't even remember who, showed the Smart V notebook that she had gotten off of Amazon that was in a personal ring size, and it was very inexpensive. I think I paid $19.99, maybe it was $20, I don't remember, but I did get a personal ring notebook at that time. I have thought about personal rings many times over the last few years. In fact, I purchased this off of Amazon a couple years ago, and I do have personal size inserts that I have printed out, thinking that at some point I would try, and all of these are blank, guys. I've printed them all out. I have lots of options, but thinking that I would try personal rings sooner or later. And I have to say, I think the time is now, because I don't want to purchase this size or this style anymore if it's not something that's going to work for me. And now that I understand both the attributes and components that I need for my methodology to work successfully, I think it's a perfect time. So let's go over this. Instead of starting with components, I'm going to start with attributes. Any notebook system that I am going to use needs to be adaptable. Well, I think we all know very well that ring systems are highly adaptable because you customize them to whatever section you want with whatever style of insert fits your style or aesthetic or, thought pattern. So when I look at attributes for a ring system, I know that I can check that off. One of the things that I find that I am being drawn to more and more is moving away from the big A5 size notebooks and planning systems into things that are a little more compact, things that don't take up a lot of desk space, but do give me the room to write on the page as much as I need. And so I have been drawn more and more to sizes like the personal size, the A6 size, even the wide size over the A5 I find is better. The one size that we're going to try out, but I'm very unsure about, is the standard just because of the tall, narrow nature of it. But that's going to be the next subject that we give a go. Anyway, so when I look at size and weight of this notebook, it's no bigger than some of the old B-size bound systems that I have used in the past. And so it feels very comfortable to hand. It feels like the right size. And I'm sure, just like the rest of you, I have been seeing all of the Moterm top grain leather personal size ring systems that are being featured on channels. And part of me is having SOS, right? Shiny object syndrome moments. But before I do that, I need to see if this even works for me, if it's truly functional and it's something I like, not just like the idea of. So size and weight, I'm fine there. There's really no need for me to add anything onto this except for one component. And I could build it in to this notebook system, like have a goals section, but I have the Moxie Life Companion notebooks that I've been using this year, and I'm just going to continue that. But moving forward, I would need to kind of adapt and maybe put my goal setting system, find a way to incorporate it into this notebook system or planner system. The next thing is fountain pen friendly. Well, the beauty is, because I buy printable inserts, I can print them on whatever weight paper I want. And I do have a higher quality weight paper in which I printed things off, so I can use a fountain pen on these pages. One of the things I'm wondering though is, like, when you use a bigger, maybe wider fountain pen, is it going to work over rings and things like that? But we'll have to see. I will figure that out with use. If it's something that is optional, is an option, but definitely I can control the paper weight and the paper style that goes in here by what paper I use to print my printables on. The other thing is a flexible structure. Well, yeah, there is no notebook as flexible in my mind as a ring bound system, because you can add, subtract, move around on a daily basis if you want to. So rings are definitely the most flexible or adaptable when it comes to planning systems. So when I got through all the attributes, I knew that this on paper works beautifully. So let's take a look at the components. First things first, am I able to index? Well, yes, I was able to put a section in the back that is for indexing important information within this system. It is going to have to be a little different in that I have a topic, a section, and a page. So instead of just being able to write out the topic and the page numbers I find it on, I have to give a little more information, but I'm feeling very comfortable with that because I had to do that here in my traveler's notebook as well. So the index I was able to do. Future planning, I was able to do in two ways. I have a long-term future planning for the rest of the year. It's just an insert. This, I believe, is a Peanut Planner Co. insert. No, I'm lying. It's a Paper Test Designs. And I was able to just print off the last half of the year and be able to do some long-term planning that way. The other thing that I have done is printed off 3 months in advance. So I have August, September, and October printed out and ready to go so I can plan directly on my monthly calendars as well. So future planning, I was able to do. The next component of my methodology is collections and notes. And I am able to do that because I was able to build a section that is called lists. And for me, that's my long-term collections. I have order trackers, books that I've read for the year. I have wish lists. I have blank lists that I can make, as well as a miscellaneous section where I'm able to take notes and capture those on paper and be able to catalog those and keep them within my planning system. The other element is weekly planning. Was I able to monthly and weekly plan? Well, yeah. I have a weekly section where I have a weekly landing page that allows me to, you saw the monthly, I guess I should say. I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a month on 2 pages where I'm able to keep everything kind of big picture on the monthly page. Then I funnel that information down to my weekly landing pages, and I have enough weekly landing pages set up for several weeks. You know, they're in here, they're not set up, but they're in here, and I can go in and fill them in, and I can even start putting elements on them as I need to for future planning elements or just, you know, pre-planning. I'm able to also keep my schedule or my work blocks on this side of the page. I'm able to keep my meals or my menu that I have planned out for the week. I'm able to do my weekly tracking down to a daily level. I'm able to keep my sleep and steps, my to-buy list, kind of a specific to-do list that go with certain days of the week, as well as build a running to-do list that was capable of just listing out the tasks that I don't know what day they're going to go on. And I'm able to list out the appointments that I have on the books as of today. So that allows me then to move into my daily section where I'm able to get much more granular. I have a time bar so I can put in my appointments. I have a task list just for this day, a section for notes, and I'm able to capture the logistical information of the day. And then I have a section which is important to me, the scribble section, where I can jot down my thoughts and feelings as I need to for any given day, any point in time. I'm able to do that. I also have the ability to take notes either in the miscellaneous section and move them in, or I can take notes in the scribble section and keep them there. So when I look at all of the components that I need for my personal planning system, I'm able to hit all of them. So in a technical aspect, I can say yes, a personal ring system has everything that I need, both in my components and methodology, as well as the attributes that I want, but I'm not sure if this is something that's really going to work for me. It's a ring system. It's a very small footprint of paper, and although I am realizing I don't need an A5 size footprint, this is really small, and I'm worried that it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm being totally honest at the beginning of this subject. I am not sure that this size paper is the right size for me. I will bring out what I am using for work, which my Hobonichi weeks, which I was using for work, went on a trip with me and didn't come home. So I had to move quickly into something else at the beginning of August, and I basically pulled out this Wonderland 222 undated planner and notebook system that I had sitting on the shelf, and I wasn't worried about using it right away because it was undated. I could pick it up and use it whenever, and I'm really glad that I had it because I was able to jump into it and use it. But this size paper is small. I mean, it's technically smaller than a personal size page, but it's wider. Well, is it really? I don't know. I always thought it was. I guess it's the square nature of it. Yeah, it's just a smidge wider, but it's shorter, so it's a little more square. And I don't know why the rectangular nature of this and the standard always seem odd to me versus the more square style pages and sizes. So that's something that I am concerned about. I don't think I'm as concerned in like my lists or to-dos, but where I get concerned is maybe in my scribbles. And I know that many of you might be thinking right now, well, that's easy. Just add on a separate journal, and that's great, but I don't do well when I do that. I like having everything together, and that's why rings has always been a big draw for me, is because you can put everything together for your personal life. I do have my memory journal that I hit every once in a while, but I don't want my daily minutia journaling, my scribbling, to be part of that. That's something that is special in my mind for another purpose. And so my scribbles journal isn't that, and I don't want it to be that. So I'm a little concerned with the sizing and the shape of the paper. I'm also just a little concerned that I'm going to find myself stuffing this and making it just this big, hard to navigate system. It's one of the reasons why I decided not to put my goals in here. I will be able to keep my intentions, which is really important to me. I plan on keeping my intentions on this little kind of landing page for the weekly. It will go right here, so I'll be able to put in everything I need to here and still be able to work in a daily setting. But I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you right now. But then again, I was really nervous when I first moved into the TN because of the paper, and I had misgivings, and look at how that turned out. So who knows? This might be something that is a truly viable option for me to kind of switch and move into at times during 2023. Because the one thing I will say is I have learned that I do like to switch. I am not a person, although I've always aspired to be a person who stays in one planner for the whole year. I'm not that person. I am going to switch it up. So this is a true test of whether this system will truly function, or if maybe I need to look at a different size, or if I even want to, given, you know, writing over the rings and things like that. So that's it. That's where we're going for the next 2 weeks. I will go ahead and check in and let you guys know how things are going with this planner system. And hopefully everything is going well. The other thing I thought I'd do is go ahead and give you a separate video, probably sometime next week, on how I have this little A6 Traveler's Notebook set up with the Wonderland 222 products and how I'm using that for work. And you guys, many of you I'm sure have seen the Wonderland products. They're a really good company. They have beautiful notebooks and beautiful planner systems, and it really is doing what I need it to do and more than I expected as far as work is concerned. So that's something that we will be coming back to. And I do have to say, this lovely is not going anywhere. She's going to sit on my desk just in case I need to jump back into it because things are not working out. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I find another viable option of something that I am willing to use in the future when I get that inevitable itch to switch. I hope that this video was enjoyable or helpful or made you giggle at least once, because I believe everybody needs to giggle at least once a day. I am going to try personal rings because, yeah, darn Moterm, darn all of those channels that jumped on those and got those in, and they're so freaking beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and here's to personal rings planning. See you next time.